Racing fans are familiar with NASCAR and Formula One, but did you know there's an IndyCar series right here in Milwaukee? There aren't any famous drivers or big sponsors, and they're using technology that was popular back in the 1960s. Natalie Shepherd takes us inside the Indy Slot Car Series.
Beep, beep, beep.
And with that,
go!
They're off. Tiny cars flying around.
Oh!
And sometimes off the track.
Imagine tiny little cars going around a washing machine. It's just that small and that fast.
The driver's eyes tracking back and forth, fingers working the controls.
We've got guys that take this really serious.
This is the Indy Slot Car Series.
No downforce! Ah!
Everett Kamikawa
Oh, they think we're big geeks.
has been doing this since 1993.
I drive the number 12 Penske car that is normally raced by Will Power in the real series.
Each car a replica of one from the real Indy series.
Our whole purpose when we started was to mimic the real full-scale series.
This series runs from September to April, the reverse of the IndyCar races.
We get out of our basements during the real racing season and enjoy that.
And each week, there's a different track to race on.
We try to travel to everybody's house at least once.
This track, with fans in the stands and concessions in the infield, belongs to Mike Kristoff, series commissioner.
What isn't my responsibility? So I set the schedule, I maintain the records.
Which is no small task.
Dan into yellow, Dean to blue.
17 races a year, standings to track.
There's a major championship at stake, yes.
Kristoff has been commissioner for 20 years, upholding series traditions.
There's a certain track that's always the Thanksgiving race. There's a certain track that's always the Halloween race. Bermuda is the Christmas classic every year.
The slot cars carry their own kind of nostalgia.
It's ancient technology. I mean, these are things that, have been around since the 60s.
The members also try to make the races
You gotta be louder, Brad.
as much like the real thing as possible.
Every race has some sort of current event that's mentioned in it as part of it. There's the drama between the drivers.
Broadcasting each event on YouTube.
This is the fastest street course.
Kamikawa taking on the role of announcer.
Crocky, it's kind of a little bit more of a fake kind of Australian accent like this, but we try and have fun with it, and you mimic the series as you go through. So it's all the way down from the sponsors to the paint cars to the announcers of the series.
Keeping it realistic means
Dan, when are you going to pick up the pace?
keeping it competitive.
Look at that, you crashed, too.
You do have to develop a racecraft.
It's strategy.
You do have to understand when you can pass people.
You gonna try to wreck me now?
The slot cars take finesse, quick hands, putting them back on track.
You gotta get out of my way.
The checkered flag might be the goal, but the real wins
The camaraderie, it's fun.
aren't the rivalries.
Oh, you're in my lane, lane jump.
They're the relationships.
We have a great group of people, and it's only gotten better.
That's it.